Here we are on the final day then of athletics and the World University Games of 2025 in Bochum. The athletics is taking place and we start off with the walks. Men's and women's. Let's have a look at the weather first though, and there's a little bit more wind today. The 16 degrees is 2 degrees less than yesterday, and that's because yesterday it was bright and sunny. Today, you'd have to argue, it couldn't be much better for race walking. It's overcast, it's slightly cool, and with it being cloudy, that will stop the temperatures warming up quicker. They will be in action for around about an hour and a half. If you look at the personal bests, and they're all just a little bit better than that, those who are going to be in the reckoning to win, so they will be hoping that they might be a few PBs beaten today. There they all are. Women on the right, men on the left. So away we go then. 20 kilometers. And it's a race that is interesting because the drive here today from where our hotel is in Düsseldorf to Bochum is or to this place is exactly 20 kilometers, in fact. So I Googled how long it would take for the average human being to walk that distance, and it came up with 4.5 hours. So these athletes will get round it in under an hour and a half, which just shows you how quick these athletes are going. Off we go with the women's race as well then.
So both races now underway, men's and women's 20-kilometer race.
So an early morning brisk walk, more than brisk. Race walking, 20 kilometers you find at the Olympic Games as well, the World Championships. Race walking has its own World Championships as well. It also has its own Race Walking Cup. It's very widespread around the world on the calendar. Used to be known as pedestrianism, but I think race walking makes it sound a bit more of a sport. It's been an Olympic event since 1956. The women's event came in 2000 when it took place in Sydney. There's more or less parity now between men's and women's events across the whole of the athletic schedule. This two of the last 11 gold medals that will be handed out today. The other 9 will be on the track and in the field at the Loheide Stadion, which, as I say, is about 20 kilometers away from the Kamnadesee, where we had the marathons yesterday. 2 good races as well, 2 very different races, with the men's race being very much a race that was blasted from the beginning, and the women's was a much more cagey affair. As you can see here, the men have got off at a decent clip already. Will Thompson has gone out early. This is his second World University Games as well. He was 9th in Chengdu. This year, he's got a personal best at the 10,000 meters race walk, which is on the track in Canberra. He was 6th that day, back in January. Also got personal best at the 20-kilometer race walk in the last competition they actually entered, which was in Melbourne at the beginning of July. So he comes into this championships in really good form. He also showed good longevity and stamina as well by getting a new lifetime best in the 30K walk as well, which is not an official championship walk. It's the longest walk at the Olympic Games and the World Championships used to be the 50-kilometer walk. And you remember the legends like Robert Korzeniowski from Poland, who dominated proceedings around the turn of this century. Sounds weird saying that, around the turn of this century. I'm from a generation where when you said something like that, you meant the beginning of the 20th century. But anyway, that's another subject. Past the drink stations, you can see these are the individual drink stations marked with the country's flag. They'll have their individually put together cocktails of electrolytes and other things to make sure that they don't dehydrate, keep their energy levels up for the entirety of the race. They will regularly take on board liquids, as indeed do the road runners. So important that you don't allow yourself to dehydrate, otherwise performance just drops off a cliff. There is Mariam Berkmez in the women's race, a 1:29 runner, just under. At her best, hasn't broken 1:30 this time around, though. Australians filling up there at the front pack and looking good. The Chinese also with 3 in there, which is good for their team chances. It's always a juggle here. You want to go as fast as you can. You can see the Turkish athlete is making a break off the front. But we've seen this happen so often at championships over the past. They go off too fast. They end up lifting, as they call it, where you have both feet off the ground and then wind up getting disqualified. Pace judgment, of course, as well. Never mind the lifting that you can get in walking. So important, like in distance running, if you overcook it too early, which is why it's nice that it's a nice breeze this morning. It's actually cool for the first time this week, which if you're a distance runner is a godsend, or a distance walker for that matter. Atsuki Tsuchiya is wearing bib number 423 on the left-hand side of your screen. A 1:18.52 man, new personal best figures this season. He's almost identical to the Chinese he's walking next to, Hu Zhongfei. Tsuchiya, though, very inexperienced. He's first major championships, although he has been competing at the race walk since 2020. The leader, Mariam Berkmez. She's almost smiling. She's in a good place at the moment, is the Turkish athlete. So then they went through 5K in 22.05. Berkmez has a 29-second lead at the moment on the group that contains Ji Haiying, Ning Jinlin, Elizabeth McMillan, Olivier Sandry, as well as Ayana Yanai, the first of the Japanese. The Japanese not quite so strong in the women's race. It's the Chinese at the moment who are battling with the Australians for the team gold there. There is a Kazakh and Indian athlete in there too. The Kazakh is Yasmina Toksanbayeva, and the Indian is Sajal Singh. I'm sure he wasn't in that lead group to start with, but he's walked his way back into it. Still Hara and Teshua leading out the pace at the moment. Yoshizako has not done an awful lot of pacemaking, actually, wearing bib number 424, which does suggest 2 things. 1, here they are protecting him, or 2, he's just not able to be able to lead off at the beginning. Oh, FISU is unfortunately has stopped. Hu Zhongfei wearing bib number 406 for China. You can see him there just dropping back a little bit with the Ukrainian. So a little bit of a gap now appearing. The Italian is starting to break apart this group. All the work at the beginning, more or less, being done by the Japanese, with Kosi occasionally coming to the front just to test the water. Looks like he's decided now, after the halfway point, that the serious stuff is about to start. He's now beginning to push, and it's beginning to stretch them out. The first really serious break in the lead pack for the men in the race, since they separated themselves away early on from the rest of the pack at the beginning of proceedings. The very welcome arrival of some coffee. It's actually quite nippy this morning, I'm quite surprised. Light drizzle. That wonderful English expression. Again, the Italian goes past there. The two men from Asia, both taking some liquids. And again, the Italian using those drink stations as a way of just pushing the pace just a little bit more. Beckman still going strong. Again, we might be having foreshortening there, but Macmillan has been broken. The women's race has got very interesting. Beckmes with a 30-second lead has lost it. And she seemed to be surprised that she'd come across her drink station, and the two Chinese, not their own fault, were between her, and she almost had to stop, and that is not good when you have to break the rhythm like that. There's the Australian Beecroft doing his best to slipstream the women, having been lapped by them. Forming an arrow guard for him at the moment, Beckmes, with the two Chinese, one on either side of the Turkish athlete.
So he's not out there completely by himself. Taking his compatriot, taking Elizabeth Macmillan with him, moving her closer to this lead pack as well. So she's now caught up with them. And we're back in the game. 4 athletes still to play for, and she's moved into the lead.
So Beckmes there cut the corner, the Chinese. G wasn't expecting it. Elizabeth Macmillan has now fought her way back up to join that lead group as well. So it's 4 now fighting for the medals. Terrific stuff in the women's race. The defending champion is really having to defend now. And having led for so long, she's fitted in behind. And Macmillan, unlike the Chinese, has gone straight past the Turk, has taken the Chinese with her. And now Beckman looks like she's losing ground. So that attempt to break them early has not worked out, and the more consistent pace of the women behind her is now beginning to make her suffer. So Kosi has another go at breaking clear. And this time, he looks like he's a little more serious about it, and maybe a little bit of a gap now breaking between him and Asuki Tsuchiya. Starting to feel the strain. Japanese, not quite as expressive, although he's hiding behind those sunglasses, of course. But Kosi now makes the break into the last part of this race, and Kosi has made his bid for gold. Doesn't look like there's any sign there. A little look back there, but he'll be very, very pleased to see that he won't even be able to see the second placer now going around that corner because of the tree in the way, but it's a 30-meter gap now back to second place. Well, they'll be cheering down in Naples at the Pegoso Telematic University for Andrea Cosi. Little look back, he's not there, you're well clear. He's on his way. The victory here looks in the bag unless he completely breaks down. Italian flag, here he comes across the last part. The game's record is about to be broken, and it's about to be smashed like it was in the men's half marathon yesterday. Andrea Cosi with a dominant performance. And the first Italian victory since 2001. Andrea Cosi is the 20-kilometre men's champion at the World University Games. Gold and an historic time. Behind him, Atsui Tetsui of Japan will take the silver medal and is delighted with that. And a wonderful run race there from Mykola Rushak, who's come through to take the bronze for Ukraine. Man who looked like he was really suffering through the first part of that race, but he's really pulled it together to come past the Japanese behind him. Disappointment for Kazuki Hara, who misses out in fourth. Gold and silver together. There's no Ukrainian flag, unfortunately, for Mykola Rushak. Somebody must have one, surely. They'll put him in the middle. I thought that was rather nice by Cosi to put the Ukrainian in the middle there. That's the right order for the podium. Well, Cosi, what a brilliant display there. He allowed the Japanese to dictate the pace through the first 10K, occasionally coming to the front just to let them know that he was there. And then in the second half of the race, his appearances at the front became more often and longer. And in the end, he's come across the line with a wonderful win and a games record. So, to the women's race. Unlike with the men's race winner, there wasn't a what you would call a all-encompassing effort to break those around her. It was just a steady building that has done the job. That's Ning Jingling, who looks like she's recovered from that previous bad period that she had. So round that bend, 1:25.01 for Macmillan. Now heading back. Right, there you go. There is the gap. Just gone past Ayana Yanai, one of the Japanese who's down in 14th place, but has been lapped. Chinese goes past her as well. Ning Jinlin goes to the Jinji Normal University in Nanchang in China, 21 years old. Still trying to take the women's half marathon here at this Canada See venue yesterday. Looks like it's going to be an Australian, though, who is going to come through for the victory 24 hours later. Katie Hayward took the first title for Australia in 2019 when it took place in Naples in an event that came onto the calendar at the World University Games in 2003, replacing the 10-kilometre walk. Ning still pacing herself, seemingly safe in the silver medal position. McMillan just a little check to see where she is. A little bit like the Kosi in the men's race, she'll be reassured, I think, by the gap, though it's a little bit less than Kosi was enjoying. So just coming up to the last part of the race, a little check of the clock, 1:27. And in the men's race, we had a games record. The women are going to follow suit. Elizabeth McMillan is about to cross the line, taking the gold medal and also the games record that goes back to 2015. Across she comes. Gold for Australia, Elizabeth McMillan. A brilliant race. And like with Kosi in the men's race, handed the games record. Ning will come across the line to take silver. A little bit of a closer race for the women than Kosi's victory in the men, but still a clear win for Elizabeth McMillan from the Griffiths University. Nice little hug there from Corrie Dixon, who was in the men's race, to congratulate her. And we wait to see who is in third place. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not sure. Here we come. So G, who was in the lead group, dropped behind and has kept things going enough to be able to take the bronze medal. So gold for Australia, silver and bronze for China. So Elizabeth McMillan, like in the men's race with Kosi, breaks the games record in the women's 20-kilometre race walk and takes the gold medal. And Andrea Kosi takes the title and the games record to take the gold medal in the men's 20-kilometre race walk. Second place to Atsuki Tsuchiya of Japan, and Mikola Rushak takes the bronze